Jesus said that heaven and earth would pass away, but his words would never pass away. In the context of what that is and what Jesus is trying to say, Jesus is saying that the heaven and earth, heaven is their cosmology and the concept of the temple system that they believed gave them access to God, and they knew that God was in heaven. And so this temple system, the whole hierarchy, the whole system of the outer courts, the holy place and the holy of holies, that whole system was heaven, and earth was where the capital was, where it was actually placed on the earth, and that would have been Jerusalem. So when Jesus is saying this in Matthew 24, heaven and earth, will pass away, but my words will not pass away, that historically happened. What he was saying is, yes, 40 years from now in 70 AD, when the Romans come in and completely annihilate and burn up and destroy that not even one stone was left on that temple system, that had all passed away. The old Stone Age thinking of this temple, priesthood, sacrificial blood sacrifice way of getting to God, that was all going to pass away. Their whole worldview was going to pass away covenantally, physically, right? It was literal as well. And now they're trying to figure out how to live that out in a new covenantal way and in a new spiritual way. And I believe that was the whole point of God. Why did they have to go through from Genesis to Revelation all of what they had to go through if this is where God wanted to take them from the beginning? Well, because they weren't ready to receive it. They had to go through what they had to go through, and their consciousness had to go higher, raise up high, so that by the time, 4,000, 6,000 years later, Jesus comes on the scene, and now God is like saying, okay, now we can release this revelation that we don't need to have physical things, literary things, to know that I am with you, that God is not separated from man, that God is here, and that we don't need all of this religious system to process through. We don't need a heaven and earth to process through to get to God, but that God is here. That was the whole point of the Bible. So in Revelation 21:1, when, John is recording and he's saying, now I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. He's referring to this very thing that I'm sharing with you right now, that it is this concept of all of those physical things, those literal things, that is going to pass away, and that what Jesus said there has made a mark in history, that we can follow Jesus's words, even though it wasn't meant for us per se as a direct audience clause, but that now we can look at that and say, oh, we understand what Jesus was saying. Yes, of course, God is invisible. We don't have to go through some kind of mediator to go to God. He is now residing with us, and we enter into that relationship with him through knowing that he is spirit and truth, and through us moving into authenticity and being transparent, being naked and unashamed, to be in that relationship. And through that, we understand that when Jesus says, my words will not pass away, that's correct, because he was expressing a truth, a timeless truth, a universal truth, that yes, absolutely, God is here with us. We've never been separated. And now he's asking us, do you want to do life with me? And we can respond yes or no. And I like to say it's way better to do life with God than without him.